20. Arthur Hochman. How the pianist can color tone with action and emotion. A pianist, like a painter, should have an infinitude of colors on his palette, remarked Arthur Hochman, the young Russian pianist, in a recent chat about piano playing. He should paint pictures at the keyboard, just as the artist depicts them upon the canvas. The piano is capable of a wonderful variety of tonal shading, and its keys will respond most ideally to the true musician who understands how to awaken and bring forth all this tonal beauty from the instrument. The modern pianist is often lacking in two important essentials, phrasing and shading. Inability to grasp the importance of these 2 points may be the cause of artistic failure. An artist should so thoroughly make his own the composition which he plays, and be so deeply imbued with its spirit, that he will know the phrasing and dynamics which best express the meaning of the piece. When he has risen to such heights, he is a law to himself in the matter of phrasing, no matter what marks may stand upon the printed page. As a rule, the editing of piano music is extremely inadequate, though how can it really be otherwise? How is it possible, with a series of dots, lines, dashes, and accents, to give a true idea of the interpretation of a work of musical art? It is not possible. There are infinite shadings between piano and forte, numberless varieties of touch which have not been tabulated by the schools. Great editors like von Bülow, Busoni, and Dalbert have done much to make the classics clearer to the student, yet they themselves realize there are a million gradations of touch and tone, which can never be expressed by signs nor put into words. Requisites for pianists. Things are necessary for the pianist who would make an artistic success in public. They are variety of tone color, individual and artistic phrasing, true feeling, personal magnetism. Colors mean so much to me. Some are so beautiful, the various shades of red, for instance, then the golden yellows, rich, warm browns, and soft liquid blues. We can make as wonderful combinations with them as ever the painters do. To me, dark red speaks of something tender, heart-searching, mysterious. Here Mr. Hochman illustrated his words at the piano with an expressive fragment full of deep feeling. On the other hand, the shades of yellow express gaiety and brightness. Here the illustrations were all life and fire, in crisp, brilliant staccatos. Other colors were just as effectively represented. What I have just indicated at the keyboard, continued the artist, gives a faint idea of what can be done with tone coloring, and why I feel that pianists who neglect this side of their art, or do not see this side of it, are missing just so much beauty. I could name one pianist, a great name in the world of music, a man with an absolutely flawless technique, yet whose playing to me is dry and colorless. It gives you no ideas, nothing you can carry away. It is like water. Another, with great variety of tonal beauty, gives me many ideas, many pictures of tone. His name is Gabrilowitsch. He is for me the greatest pianist. Making climaxes pianissimo. In my own playing, when I color a phrase, I do not work up to a climax and make that the loudest note, as most pianists do, but rather the soft note of the phrase. This applies to lyric playing. I will show you what I mean. Here is a fragment of 2 measures, containing a soulful melody. I build up the crescendo, as you see, and at the highest point, which you might expect to be the loudest, you find instead that it is soft. The sharpness has been taken out of it. The thing you did not expect has happened, and so there are constant surprises. Tonal surprises, tone colors not looked for. It is generally thought that a pianist should attend many recitals and study the effects made by other pianists. I, on the contrary, feel I gain more from hearing a great singer. The human voice is the greatest of all instruments, and the player can have no more convincing lesson in tone production and tone coloring than he can obtain from listening to a great emotional singer. The pianist should hear a great deal of opera, for there he will learn much of color, of effect, light and shade, action and emotion. We do not want cut and dried performances. The third requisite for the pianist, as I have said, is true feeling. I have no sympathy with dry, mechanical performance, where every effect is coldly calculated beforehand, and the player always strives to do it the same way. How can he always play the same way when he does not feel the same? If he simply seeks for uniformity, where does the inspiration come in? The true artist will never give a mechanical performance. At one time he may be in a tender, melting mood, at another in a daring or exalted one. He must be free to play as he feels, and he will be artist enough never to overstep bounds. The pianist who plays with true feeling and heart can never play the same composition twice exactly alike, for he can never feel precisely the same twice. This, of course, applies more especially to public performance and playing for others. Another essential is breath control. Respiration must be easy and natural, no matter how much physical strength is exerted. In fortissimo and all difficult passages, the lips must be kept closed and respiration taken through the nostrils, as it always ought to be. Dissection of details. Yes, I do a great deal of teaching, but prefer to take only such pupils as are intelligent and advanced. With pupils, I am very particular about hand position and touch. The ends of the fingers must be firm, but otherwise the hand, wrist, and arm from the shoulder are all relaxed. In teaching a composition, I am immensely careful and particular about each note. Everything is dissected and analyzed. When all is understood and mastered, it is then ready for the stage setting, the actors, the lights, and the colors. I was intended for a pianist from the first. Born in Russia, I afterward came to Berlin, studying 7 or 8 years with Xaver Scharwenka, then with Dalbert, Stavenhagen, and others. But when one has all that can be learned from others, a man's greatest teacher is himself. I have done a great deal of concert work and recital playing in Europe, and have appeared with the leading orchestras in the largest cities of America. Mr. Hochman has done considerable work in composition. Numerous songs have been published and doubtless larger works may be expected later.